South Park.
Welcome to another episode of Fill in the Blank podcast. We have slow delayed reaction to Sean Collins. What's up, Deshaun?
What's up?
So, Deshaun, you know what we're talking about today?
The brown note. One of the funniest things I've ever heard about.
So, what do you know about the brown note?
Well, South Park. There's a couple other comedy shows, like you said, The League. Don't play that note. Everyone's going to shit themselves if they hear that frequency. So let's see if it's real.
Do you think it's actually something? Like, do you think there's a frequency, like a dog whistle? Like, obviously there's a high pitch that can hurt some people's ears.
Yeah, for dogs, for certain sound frequencies, yes, but I don't feel like
there's certain frequencies I can hear that you can't hear, and there's certain frequencies you can hear that I can't hear.
But I don't know about the brown note. I don't know if it's going to make me shit myself. Or my brain explode. Or something.
I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe the brain exploding one, yes. But shitting myself, I don't know.
Well, they've made weapons like EMP weapons that actually can make your ears bleed. It's so powerful, of course. It hurts your brain because it's such a high frequency.
Exactly. They probably have something to make you shit yourself.
It's hard to think there's not a level or note that you can hit that would mess with somebody's digestive system.
If there's a frequency that can blow your eardrums out and cause internal bleeding, then there's definitely a frequency to make you shit yourself.
Well, the brown note is a hypothetical infrasonic frequency that would cause humans to lose control of their bowels due to the Renaissance attempts to demonstrate the existence of a brown note using sound waves transmitted through air have failed. The name is metatonym for the common color of human feces. Frequencies supposedly involved are between 5 and 9 hertz, which is below the lower frequency limit of human hearing. Higher power sound waves below 20 hertz are felt in the body, not heard by the ear as sound.
We should try it out, man. We should get like a sound frequency tool and try it on ourselves. See if it works.
Dude, you know how powerful a government weapon would be if they could just make people lose control of their bowels?
Imagine they use that in World War II.
Dude, I feel like that's something they're going to end up selling at Five Below, like a whistle.
Oh my gosh.
For $3, a kid can make you crap yourself.
I see all the seniors now pulling pranks.
What is wrong with you? Why would you see the seniors doing that? Oh, you mean
high
the high
school
school seniors?
man.
They're about the old people.
No!
Like, yo, they have a trouble.
They already have. I was just about to say that.
Those are probably the people we should be testing on.
For real.
They're easier to lose their bowel control than a normal person. I mean, a younger person.
Watery bowels. Watery bowels.
All that tapioca pudding and hard candy.
Brown water. It wouldn't even be called brown note then. It would be called brown water.
Good Lord. Water flows like diarrhea.
Flows like diarrhea for sure.
Psychological effects of low frequency vibrations. So, the Dormant University of Technology, an expert on sonic weapons, has said that there is no reliable evidence for nausea and vomiting caused by infrasound.
He's lying.
You don't believe a sound can cause someone to vomit? Or you believe a sound can cause someone to vomit?
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
you think so?
They haven't proved that it can make someone crap themselves. It seems like vomiting would be a lot harder.
I feel like, yeah, I guess. Who knows? I gotta see actual proof and videos of them testing.
I mean, if there's a pitch that someone can sing to break glass, it's hard to think that there's not a pitch that someone could do to make you crap yourself. That man would have the best superpower of all, just being able to speak and you just crap yourself.
Just getting out of work. Imagine getting out of work like that.
What? Crapping yourself?
Making your boss crap yourself. It's like, oh, well,
why would you get out of work for that?
Why not?
He'd leave and then probably...
Why wouldn't I be able to leave? He wouldn't know.
Well, high volume levels at concerts from subwoofer arrays have been cited as causing lung collapse in individuals who are very close to the subwoofers, especially for smokers who are particularly tall and thin.
Lung collapsing?
Have you ever been to a concert?
Yeah.
Have you ever felt the drum set, like when the dude's hitting the drums or some type of techno music? You can feel it in your ribs, bro.
I haven't been to one, like a festival.
You don't need to be at a festival, just a regular concert.
Yeah, I guess.
The bass, if that bass is turned up or someone's hitting those drums hard, you feel it in your rib cage. I don't know if you're going to some type of symphony or something where you don't have the drum beats, but a drum beat, like I've witnessed, and being my family had musicians, going up and watching one of my dad play drums, I could feel his drum hits in my rib cage
drum
when
snare
I was
and
everything, the bass drum, everything.
Yeah.
And then when you go to like a techno concert, or you go to some
That's
reggae
even
concert
worse.
or some loud rock concert, the speakers amplify at such a frequency where it can literally shake your bones. So it's not impossible that it can make someone's lung collapse. So in September 2009, London student Tom Reed died of sudden arrhythmic death syndrome after complaining that loud bass notes were getting to his heart. The inquest recorded a verdict of natural causes, although some experts commented that the bass could have acted as a trigger.
So was he like at a concert or something? And he alerted security? Or?
Probably, or he just chilling in his room listening to music with the bass turned all the way up. How many people have giant ass subwoofers in their car nowadays that just blast music?
All the time.
You ever sit in there and your hair starts shaking? Your hands are shaking, you can feel it in your
bones?
bones?
You ever see those videos?
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
just with the sound waves.
It kind of gives light to the possibility there might be a frequency that can make you crap yourself. I swear, sometimes
There's definitely frequency.
A strong bass that comes in, like turn down for what, when that bass kicks in, and you got a nice subwoofer in there, dude, I can feel it. My tummy starts gurgling a little bit.
Exactly. That tummy.
So air is a very efficient medium for transferring low-frequency vibration from a transducer to the human body. Mechanical connection of the vibration source to the human body, however, provides a potentially dangerous combination. The U.S. space program, worried about the harmful effects of rocket flight on astronauts, ordered vibration tests that had used cockpit seats mounted on vibration tables to transfer brown note and other frequencies directly to the human subjects. Very high power levels of 160 decibels were achieved at frequencies of 2 to 3 hertz. Test frequencies range from 0.57 hertz to 40 hertz. Test subjects suffered motor ataxia, nausea, visual disturbance, degraded task performance, and difficulties in communication. These tests are assumed by researchers by the nucleus of the current urban myth.
Of course, that makes sense, though.
So a certain type of frequency causing you to experience a little bit of nausea and also not being able to talk as well and not be able to perform your task and also slower thinking. That's possible because you got to think like when your body's under like a type of stress like that, like when you're in an earthquake, you start losing a little bit of your balance and your motor flexibility. So you're like, that's the whole ground shaking around you.
Yeah, just think about, because just past this weekend they had the air show.
That hurt your ears, didn't it, a little bit? A lot of kids are wearing earplugs.
Of course, man, breaking that sound barrier like that. But think about the effect that it has on the pilots, too. You know? The G-force and the pressure on their bodies.
One of the most famous pilots ever was a World War II pilot that had no legs from the knees down. You know why? You know what happens when those pilots pass out? It's because of the G-force, but the blood rushes to your legs. And he was so successful in his flights because he had no legs. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that.
Then there was another guy that actually fell 22,000 feet and survived.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
And there's a female, actually, as well. She broke her pelvis and a couple other bones, but she survived.
It's crazy to think.
A plane crash. Landing in a tree, actually.
Well, a report called A Review of Published Research on Low-Frequency Noise and Its Effects contains a long list of research about exposure to high-level infrasound among humans and animals. For instance, in 1972, Borden exposed 42 young men to tones at 7.5 hertz at 130 decibels for 50 minutes. This exposure caused no adverse effects. Reported drowsiness and a slight blood pressure increase. In 1975, Slarv and Johnson exposed 4 male subjects to sound at frequencies from 1 to 20 hertz for 8 minutes at a time, at levels up to 144 decibels. There was no evidence of any detrimental effect other than middle ear discomfort. Tests of high-sensitivity infrared sound on animals resulted in measurable changes such as cell changes and ruptured blood vessel walls.
So they tested that on humans?
They tested on humans, and then when they got to a very high-intensity frequency,
they
used it and switched it over to animals.
Okay, good. Because I was like, man, they're just killing people? Rupturing spleens and livers?
Well, if you think, animals are a little bit more sensitive probably with their hearing. I've seen an experiment where 2 people have hooked up a bass, like 2 giant subwoofers, and put a rat in the middle and had it really close to them, and then put it at a very loud level, and the rat basically exploded.
Yeah.
So they're experiencing cell change and ruptured blood vessels.
Well, because you also have to think, because their senses are definitely hyphened tenfold to us with certain species as well. Who knows with rats? I don't know about theirs. But.
So in February 2005, the television show Mythbusters used 12 Mayer Sound 700 HP subwoofers, a model and quantity that has been employed for major rock concerts. Normal operating frequency range of the selected subwoofer model was 28 Hz to 150 Hz, but the 12 enclosures at Mythbusters have been specifically modified for deeper bass extension. Robert Schwenk and John Mayer directed the Mayer Sound team in devising a special test rig that would produce very high sound levels at infrared frequencies. The subwoofers' tuning ports were blocked and their input cards were altered. The modified cabinets were positioned in an open ring configuration, 4 stacks of 3 subwoofers each. Test signals were generated by a SIM-3 audio analyzer. With its software modified to produce infrasonic sounds, Brule and Kaiser's sound level analyzer fed with the inoculated signal from a model 4189 measurement microphone displayed and recorded sound pressure levels. The hosts on the show tried a series of frequencies as low as 5 Hz, attaining a level of 120 decibels of sound pressure at 9 Hz and up to 153 decibels at frequencies above 20 Hz. But the rumored psychological effects did not materialize. The test subjects all reported some physical anxiety and shortness of breath, even a small amount of nausea, but this was dismissed by the hosts, noting that at the sound the frequency and intensity moves air rapidly in and out of one's lungs. The show declared the brown note myth busted.
Mythbusters was a great show.
It was, and they definitely...
It served its purpose.
It definitely killed a couple hours in school, too.
It definitely did.
But the whole idea that it affects air in such a way that it can literally take the air out of your lungs...
It's crazy.
A frequency. Like, imagine someone just hooking up a guitar and, like, strumming it, and next thing you know, someone's head explodes, or someone just loses all, like, breath.
It was like getting the wind knocked out of you.
Yeah.
Just because of a sound frequency. That I feel like that could definitely be utilized as a weapon too.
How many times has sound affected a lot of characteristics about somebody?
All the time.
A giant explosion. What's your reaction?
Oh man.
You immediately get aware and scared.
Confused.
Adrenaline starts pumping.
You don't know what's going on. Or even say you're driving and you have loud music and you're going to a new place you haven't been before. What do?
You turn it down.
Exactly.
Also, if something happens, like you almost get into an accident or something, the first thing you do is turn your music down.
Turn your music down.
Or you almost hit somebody, you turn your music down. Because you're like, I need to focus, I need to be more aware of my surroundings. I'm too concentrated on this obstructive noise.
It's just what it is, man. A lot of people are like, oh, you ever see those memes? Oh, people are so dumb, they turn their music down so they can see where they're going. It makes sense.
Well, let's talk about the brown note being used in fiction. In the comic book series Transmetropolitan, the main character, Spider Jerusalem, wields a bowel disruptor that operates using ultrasonic waves with varying settings of intensity. In the Season 3 episode Worldwide Recorder Concert, episode 17 of the animated show South Park in 2000, the brown note myth is featured prominently. The boys rewrite the music for a worldwide recorder concert to include the brown note for kids from New York who kept insulting them, with the unintended result that everyone in the world defecates almost simultaneously. Do you see this? If someone devised a weapon that could make someone crap themselves, would it be used for good or would it be used for bad?
I feel like
like someone cuts in line at you at the store and you just use the note.
I feel like it would be used for stupid things though. You know? Unless
maybe someone hasn't gone to the bathroom in a couple days and they use that to help.
Yeah. It could be detrimental though. You could use it long enough or on someone that it ruptures their anus, it blows out their asshole.
Good lord.
You could use it like that.
Here's my favorite one being used. In the Season 4 episode, The Curse of Sheba, episode 13 of The League, Taco has found a use for thousands of discarded vuvuzelas, instruments left over the 2010 FIFA World Cup hosted by South Africa. The instruments were tinkered with to produce the brown note, with hopes that it would then be sold to the military as a weapon. In the Season 1 episode Angel Boy, episode 4 of the Adult Swim show Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories, the character Scotty sings a note that causes attendees at a birthday party to have intense gastrointestinal distress and defecate uncontrollably.
Tim and Eric was a good show too.
But the brown note, man, it's crazy to think that there's
a frequency out
that there isn't a level out there. There's obviously there's
But
gotta be something.
if there's a frequency to take breath out of your lungs, how come there isn't one for you to shit your pants?
Well, something that happened in society. Activists planning protests at the forthcoming Democratic National Convention in Denver are wary of a police weapon they refer to as the crap cannon. Luckily for them, it doesn't exist. Fox News filled this report. Also called the brown note, the cannon is believed to be an infrasound frequency that debilitates a person by making them defecate involuntarily. Jeez. Mark Cohen, co-founder of Recreate 68, an alliance of local activists working for the protection of First Amendment rights, said he believes this could be deployed at the convention in August to subdue crowds.
But
police using a weapon
horrible.
To make people crap themselves to stop riots. That is an invention out of a freaking movie, bro. That is awesome.
You want to know what I picture?
Screw getting pepper spray. I'd rather crap myself.
I picture that. Like, I picture people shitting themselves out of nowhere, uncontrollably. There's a video. There's a kid that got bullied in school, and he put laxatives in, like, I don't know how he did it, but he put laxatives in the whole school systems.
I saw that on Facebook.
Oh, man, and they're shitting everywhere. But that's how I picture it, like,
that's
instantly.
funny, though. That's funny.
That
Imagine breaking up an activist like riot, a feminist riot or something. They all start crapping themselves.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get through.
Oh, imagine the cleanup, though. On the street. Oh, my goodness.
Cars just run it over. They don't care.
Yeah, it'll be... Oh, man. I didn't even picture the cars.
You know what I pictured? The hands up, don't shoot movement on the people in the middle of the streets that were freaking out and everything.
Yeah.
I picture just, instead of those cars running people over, someone just using the brown note and they all running to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good movement, but at the same time it was a little ridiculous because ambulances couldn't get to certain places and people died.
There's certain ways to protest, man. You know? There's definitely things to protest for and a way to do it.
Well, now we have a way to resolve it by using the brown note.
Exactly.
So Cohen, who described the brown note as a sonic weapon used to disrupt people's equilibrium, cited eyewitness accounts of its use during free trade agreement protests in Miami in 2003. His group is preparing against a possible attack by brown note and other crowd control measures by dispatching street medics at the convention trained in treating injuries in demonstration situations. He should save himself the time. While the story of a frequency that liquefies bowels has been going around for many years, the facts don't really back up the tale. Mythbusters tackled it in 2005, concluding, even after testing a wide range of subaudible and near subaudible noises on him, not once did Adam lose control of his bowels. Some discomfort was reported, however, due to the effects of low-frequency sound on the lungs. Fox also turns to Mythbusters, specifically Roger Schweik and an acoustician who appeared on the show's Brown Note episode, and concludes that there is no scientific evidence that proves such frequencies cause involuntary defecation. You might argue that Mythbusters is not right here on that cutting edge. For that, you need to look no further than Dr. Altman of the Bochum Verification Project, who carried out the definitive review of all available literature on the effects of acoustic weapons. Evidence for bowel spasms and uncontrolled defecation is even scarier. Among all the literature surveyed for this article, the only hint found was on the digestive troubles observed during experiments with a strong 16 Hz siren. These were, however, not specified at all, and the explanation immediately followed talk of objects vibrating in clothing pockets. In the low-frequency exposures up to 150 decibels, no bowel spasms were observed. The same holds for low-frequency animal experiments. So even animals haven't experienced anything of a note hitting them and causing them to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
I like to think that it's out there.
I would like to, too.
So what's your thoughts on the brown note, man?
I just don't think they're doing the right tests. I don't know. Or if they're testing...
With so much stuff we have undiscovered in the world, it's hard to think that we have discovered everything about what types of frequencies can make a bodily function go off.
Exactly. If we haven't discovered every species in the ocean, then there's no way...
There's still 9.8 billion that haven't been discovered.
Exactly. So there's no way that we haven't explored these thousands of millions of different frequencies that we probably don't even know or are aware about.
I would like to be able to play the brown note.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah, to make people crap themselves. I would use it for so much evil. Just some dude sitting beside me in the car.
What type of ear protection would the user have to use so he won't crap himself?
Earplugs.
But what type?
Dude,
of
if you're making somebody crap yourself, you just gotta roll the dice and hope you just gotta go with it too. You gotta hurt yourself.
You're
to get
playing
the
the flute and you're shitting yourself too.
I'll play the flute on the toilet.
Ah, true.
Imagine amplifying the
Well, how
sound on a
far?
TV network.
That would be crazy.
So everybody's like watching TV. Just immediately crap yourself while family time's going on.
Worldwide epidemic.
People driving in their cars, the radio, trying to pull over as fast as possible.
15-car pile up. All of them have shit themselves mysteriously.
15-car pile up, 30 people pile up in the bathroom.
Yeah. Janitors would be mad.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to this episode of Fill in the Blank. And anybody that wants to look up the brown note, I recommend it because, bodily functions are a real thing. We all do it.
And look up that episode of South Park.
Yeah,
One of the funnier.
That's a good frame
episodes.
of reference.
Yeah, one of the funnier episodes of South Park, and the point to this, it's pretty funny.
I gotta
Good
take
connection.
the Browns to the Super Bowl.
They won't be there anytime soon.